Hello there. I'm Jerry Bartell. Welcome to another story played by Jingle, Candy, and Gay. We're in Spain, and Candy is a handsome, brave bullfighter. But not yet. And Gay is a Marquesa with beautiful clothes and a jeweled comb in her hair. But not yet. And Jingle? I think that will keep it a surprise. So if you're ready, we are to go back where it all began long ago. And we find Carlos off to Seville to try his hand at bullfighting. He's forgotten something. It's hard to leave his sister Carmelita. What shall I bring you when I return? Bring me a rose, which means come back in glory, because the victorious bullfighter is thrown flowers for the crowd. Goodbye, Carlos. Goodbye. Here's Carlos on his way home without the rose. He fought the bull bravely, but he's young and has much to learn. No one threw him flowers. But he's not even thinking of that now, because he's lost his way and night is coming on. That's strange. A castle here, deep in the woods. But fortunate, too. He can seek shelter there. No one answers his knock. He finds the door unlocked and goes in. The castle is deserted, silent, and yet it would seem that someone was here not long ago. Nothing is broken or dusty. And on a table beautifully set with fine silver and crystal, Carlos finds food, still hot from the oven. It's like an invitation to dinner. So he sits down and eats. Dinner over, he looks again for some sign of life in the castle. No one anywhere. But his search leads him to a bedroom where a richly canopied bed seems to await the tired traveler. It's like an invitation to sleep, and Carlos is very tired. So he soon is lost in dreams. In the morning, the great house is as silent as before. But see here, Carlos' hat is full of coins. There must be someone else about, someone who's kind and generous, but doesn't wish to be seen. Hunting for his unknown host, Carlos wanders into the garden. The blooming roses remind him of his promise to Carmelita. Surely his host will let him take a single flower, so Carmelita might have a rose. But what's this? Is this how you repay my hospitality? I fed you, gave you shelter and money to continue your journey. Now you steal my roses. For this, you must die. So his mysterious host is Elfeo, the ugly one, a beast. Carlos pleads for time to return home so Carmelita might know what has happened to him. And Elfeo agrees to let him go. Carmelita is overjoyed to see him, and before he has had time to explain about Elfeo, Carlos has come back home from Seville. They gave him a rose in praise of his skill. In fighting the bull, he rated a kill. And a rose for his Carmelita. Suppose a rose could tell me all a rose but knows. What would it say to me of Carlos and his victory? And here, so clear, the message that I hold so dear. Love is its fragrance, the secret of a rose. Carlos, my brother, a hero he'll be, with gold in his pockets and girls on his knee. But that I'll not mind if he'll promise me a rose for his Carmelita. When Carmelita learned the price Carlos was to pay for her rose, she would not let him suffer for his devotion to her. While he slept, she left him to go to El Feo in his place. Like Carlos, Carmelita found El Feo's castle deserted and silent. When would El Feo appear to her? He was apparently expecting Carlos, for the table was set for two. She was terrified, but El Feo's voice was kind. Your Carmelita, did your brother send you? You came of your own will? Then you'll not be harmed. Will you dine with me? After dinner, El Feo asked Carmelita to dance with him, and when the dance was over, he asked, will you marry me? To that, Carmelita could not say yes, and on her no, El Feo disappeared. Days and weeks went by. Carmelita saw El Feo only at dinner time, when, just as the first night, he asked her to dine with him, then to dance, and finally to marry. And though she lost her fear of him, and even became quite fond of him, she never could bring herself to say yes to the third question. She had everything she could desire, rich clothes, jewels, even a cuddly little kitten as a playmate. She might have been completely happy if she hadn't missed her brother so much. One by one the lonely hours pass. I miss you, Carlos. I miss you, brother. Day by day I look into the glass and wish the face I saw were yours. It's Carlos in the bullfight ring. El Feo has worked magic to make her happy. See how well he fights, how gracefully he dodges the cruel horns of the bull. The image disappeared, but her wish had been granted, and she had seen her brother. Dear El Feo, you're so good to me. Thank you for letting me see Carlos. Now she looked through the mirror often, and so she knew that Carlos was well and successful, and that he missed her, too. And then one day, through the magic mirror, she saw Carlos injured by a bull. El Feo, help me. Carlos is hurt. He needs me. Please let me go to him. El Feo couldn't refuse her. Remove 5 petals and you'll be where you wish. But return soon. For when the rose has lost all its petals, you can never wish yourself back. And if you don't come back, I shall die. Carmelita promised. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Carlos was badly injured, and Carmelita was busy night and day caring for him. The days passed swiftly, and she hardly knew where one ended and another began. Finally, Carlos was well enough to sit up and talk with her, and she told him about El Feo's kindness and her promise to return to him. The rose! She'd completely forgotten the rose. Would it have enough petals to get her back to El Feo? She had waited too long. Only the heart of the flower remained. Now Carmelita knew what she hadn't known before. She wanted to go back to El Feo. Carmelita, the rose I picked for you in El Feo's garden, it still has its petals, if you really wish to go. Oh, yes, I do, Carlos. 1, 2, 3, 4. Goodbye, dear Carlos. 5. It worked. She was back, but there on the ground. Please, El Feo. Dear El Feo, you mustn't die. I love you. And I'll marry you if you wish. What magic those words worked. What had been El Feo was now a handsome nobleman. He had been enchanted by a wicked magician and forced to appear a beast until a good maiden should love him enough to marry him in spite of his ugliness. A moment later, Carlos stood beside them. the rose brought me as well. Carmelita became La Marquesa Doña Carmela and lived in happiness as long as she lived, because she had learned the secret of a blooming rose and a loving heart. And that, Playtimers, was the story of Carmelita and Elfeo. This was the lovely Carmelita. Carlos? Elfeo before and after. We'll be back another day with another story. Hasta la vista.